Hello and welcome to a new project, except this project is my sewing room is an absolute disaster zone and I need to clean it up before I can continue working in here. So join me today as I clean and organize my little sewing studio. And also let me show you around my sewing studio because I don't think I've ever done that. So let's go. This is the door to my studio. Let me turn the camera around and show you what my space is. From my door there is a little bookshelf here that I don't properly utilize as best as I could. A pile of stuff, my trolley that would be useful if I could get to it, but I can't. On this side I have a little kitchenette. There's drawers in here that I don't really use because I can't get to those drawers because there is this stuff in the way. And these are more boxes of fabric in here piled on top with more stuff that I don't really know where to put it. One mannequin with a project on it that I have finished. I just need to film the reveal of, and this is the rest of it on top of this pile of fabric. And then on this side of the room, another mannequin, my amazing cutting table, and my sewing machines over there. As you can see, the table is a bit of a mess. Behind the curtains is fabric and sewing books and more fabric over here. Me. Behind the mirror, more bolts of fabric. There was 2 plastic bins, but all the fabric kind of outgrew the bins, so now it's just sort of stuffed in here and hoping that it doesn't fall over on me. More messy table, and of course the most important thing, my sewing machine and my little positive potato. When all my sewing things go wrong, he makes me happy. I have my Elna that I use mostly, a Janome that I use when I'm doing stretch fabric, and my overlocker. More fabric. There is random stuff piled in under here. I don't even know what. These 2 suitcases are where all my patterns live. Those 2 boxes are full of fabric dye, I believe. Under the table, there's, wait for it, more fabric. In the middle is where Flynn likes to sleep. It's a bit of a mess in here. But it's gonna take me a little while to organize it all, and I think I need to take it in small sections. So my first task today is going to be the top of the table because I did just finish a project and I need to put away the stuff from that project and wipe it down. But there's also, at this end of the table, there's also stuff that has just been dumped there because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. But it would be good to clean that off so the whole table is usable. All right, let's do this. So the easy stuff to clear away is off the table. That's the sort of thing that was used in my last project and it kind of has a spot to live. Now I've got to work with the stuff that kind of just got dumped at the end of the table because I had nowhere else to put it, or it was a project that I'm working on, but it's a long-term project. Like, I don't expect to get to this anytime soon. This is more of a fun, in my downtime type of project. So it just lives on the corner of my table, but it could definitely be put somewhere better. What I should probably do is clear out my bookshelf that's by the front door and use that, because I've got little bins, use those as a cutout, currently working on but not immediate type of thing. Because there's another one back there also that I need to put somewhere. bookcase is now, I think, more usable. It's certainly more organized. So since I'm kind of tackling surfaces and it's getting done, things are happening, I think my next thing is going to be tackling this kitchenette bench, because it's basically my dumping ground. When I don't know where to put something and I need it to be out the way, it'll get piled on top of this. So let's tackle this next. This is looking much neater. Now that that bit's kind of done, I want to work on this section. So I've cleared off the extra stuff, so that's all gone, but I do still have, obviously, the boxes with nowhere to put them currently. So they're just gonna sit there for the moment until I clear the under of my table and can hopefully squeeze some under there, maybe. I think I'll tackle this trolley next, and that might be the last thing I do today because I'm hot and sweaty. Through the magic of editing, this may look like a quick process, but oh, this takes a while. So yeah, I'm gonna get through that and then maybe call that a day. Wondering where all our reusable shopping bags were going, and turns out I was hiding them in my trolley. But now I found them, so yay! Welcome to day 2 of organizing my chaos. Today I'm tackling this under my table section. Let's go! I'm not excited for this. So I've made an absolute mess of the top of my table and the area that I cleared yesterday in front of me. That's also re-messed up. But I did mostly empty under here. So I do have some bags of fabric here, but the back section is clear. So I think I can now put in some of, let me turn around, put some of these in that back corner because I don't need to get to these often, but I would like them to be out of my way. So I've got 2 containers and my embroidery machine under there. Hopefully they're not too heavy for these supports that I've got. Oh well, we'll find out. I do have one more box which I want to try and fit under there, but this box actually has under here, it's got a whole bunch of beads and zips and embroidery threads and buttons. This is where most of my button stash is. Because I bought this box as it was from an ex-dressmaker, I just got the whole box. So this is their organization system. So I think before I put this box under there, I'm going to pull out all these shoe boxes and put them aside to organize in some better way. Okay, so now I've got the 3 big bins that used to sit in the middle of my walkway under here, which is amazing. It's going to be so much easier to walk around my table if I don't have to also dodge these guys. So now that I have space here, because there's no big plastic boxes, I can move my trolley out the way and get to this drawer, which is my lace trim drawer, which means I can empty this box, which is full of lace trim, into the drawer and use this box for something else. Now I want to work on the top of my table and clear all this fabric away. My table is getting there. It is much clearer. All the fabric is underneath in those baskets, bins, cloth bags, I don't know what you would call them, except for this brown pleather that I actually have a cardboard roll somewhere that I want to roll it up. And also this fabric, which I found while cleaning up, which I've had plans for this fabric since I found it in the op shop to do a Cinderella inspired dress, because I just think the blue color is so Cinderella, and I think the floral pattern on it is very reminiscent of the live action wedding dress that she has. So I think a sort of summery princess dress inspired by Cinderella in this fabric would be beautiful. So that's on my to-do list. So I figured if I leave it out, it might actually happen and I won't forget about it again. Now I just need to work on organizing all the extra bits. These boxes of buttons need organizing. I don't even know what's in here. Things like masking tape that I use to tape patterns together. All the extra stuff. Welcome to another day of organizing. Today I want to tackle my sewing desk, which honestly isn't too bad because I do tend to clean it off after every project, or every second project at least, so that I can wipe it down after fluff goes everywhere when I'm sewing velvet or corduroy or anything like that. So that's actually not too bad. But I do also want to tackle my scrap pile that is currently dumped on the floor. Most of that will probably just go back on top of this because Flynn really likes to sleep on top of it. So most of the big pieces will just sort of get shoved back up there. The smaller pieces I might put in a bag and put further under, because I do use them to stuff things. Like I cut them up into even smaller pieces and stuff like bum pads with my scraps. And some of them I use for pockets and things, like some of the bigger pieces. So scraps are useful and I want to just get rid of them. Alright, I think today is going to be my last day of trying to organize this sewing room chaos. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with where it is. I know what I've got, I know where it is, and I can work in the space. So today I want to completely clear off my table of the last bits of random stuff. Like I've got some little, what do they call these? I don't know, drawstring claspy things. I've got an empty bottle that could store something, and lots of random buttons. So I need to find homes for that sort of thing, which will probably get shoved in here, and then give my space a good vacuum, and I think we're good to go. So these boxes are actually all buttons, and I want to organize them better than this, but I don't currently have like a storage container or some bags to put them in. So I'm going to order some or find some somewhere that I can organize it better, because yeah, it's just buttons on buttons and it's just a bit of a mess and I don't know what's in here. I've gone through it before when I'm looking for certain buttons, but it's really hard to find, 5 of one kind of button when it's just chaos. So I'm going to actually put these aside until I have a storage solution, organization solution for them. And then I'll probably spend a day sorting buttons until I know exactly what I've got and where to find them. So I'm not going to put these away. I might just pop them over there so that I can carry on with what I'm doing for now. But these are accessible for organization in the near future. I'm tired, but all the organizing is done for now. It's done enough that I can work in here much better than I could before. Let me show you around now. So from my doorway, my table is completely clear apart from some like drafting essentials up in that corner and my iron, of course. The sewing machine bench hasn't really changed. There is no longer a pile of boxes here. This is the biggest part for me. This space that I can now walk through, it's amazing. And I can move the trolley around so it's not in the way as needed and get into all these drawers and cabinets. This bench, it doesn't look tidy, but it is, and it's organized. So that's all that matters, with the exception of these buttons, which have just been plopped there while I try and figure out a way to sort them. I'll get to them. Behind the mirror is all the fabric still. That hasn't changed. I should probably go through it, but will I? Probably not. The main thing is all this table space, and there's no longer, that pile of stuff up there. Here, I should probably just throw this out. This is a secondary Flynn bed that he doesn't really use. He much prefers my pile of scrap fabrics, which is still there for him. We've got to keep him comfy. But I have managed to fit a lot more other fabrics under here as well, and these plastic boxes, which is great. And I have a little bit of a surface so my ironing stuff can sit on top. And under here is just a little bit more organized. Not much has changed. I still need to put the stuff under here, but it's a bit neater and I can easily pull this off to pull one of these cases out. So there we go. So much more room for sewing activities to happen in here. It might not look super different like you guys looking through the camera, but to me actually being in here, it's so different. Like just the walking around my table. I can walk around this table now. There's not piles of boxes in the way. And all of my table is available, which is great. So, I feel like this has been a mission, but now I have a nice, clean, organized room where I know where stuff is. So it may not look tiny, especially this back countertop. That I'm not happy with that, but I don't have anywhere else for stuff on there to go. So organized chaos it is. So I predict it'll stay clean for about 3 days. If you made it all the way through this video, thank you for sticking around and watching, and I hope it was interesting to see how my sewing studio is set up. And if you have any ideas on how to do it better, let me know. I need the ideas. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!